Yo, my people, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see in the title of the video, today we'll be doing our Premier League 11 versus the rest of the world 11. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video, because there's been a lot of discussion about, you know, is there a gap between the Premier League and the rest of the other leagues in Europe, especially in the Champions League, because we tend to see that now we get a lot more English teams in the knockout stages. A lot more English teams tend to advance in the later stages of the Champions League. So there's this question mark about, is there like some sort of disparity or difference in the quality between the English sides and the rest of the world? So I thought, you know what? We're going to debate it. We're going to do our Premier League 11 versus our rest of the world 11 and then discuss each position and see which one wins. So you're going to pick pretty much, Lyes, you're going to pick from pretty much any other league in Europe. And then obviously I'll stick to the Premier League and then we'll kind of discuss and debate each position. So without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. So the first position we're going to start off with is the goalkeeper position.
Okay, you want to go first or you want me to start?
Now, since you're the guest, you can start.
I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to go for goalkeeper with Thibaut Courtois. I think Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. I think he has been the best goalkeeper in the world for a while now. Him and Alisson for a while had that, but I think as Alisson has started to decline this season, Courtois has just remained at such an unreal level. I like Courtois a lot because for all the talk about ball playing and, you know, like being the first almost focal point of build-up. At the end of the day, goalkeeping is about stopping shots, right? And I don't think anyone stops shots at a higher level, at a more consistent level than Thibaut Courtois. Even though he plays for Real Madrid, people might think, oh, that means he has less to do. But Real Madrid, for me, are so vulnerable from a defensive point of view, even through their dominance, that he almost bails them out so often, year in, year out. He's had so many big game moments as well, too. And then just in this season in general, if I even forget about the past, I think he's been one of Real Madrid's most consistent players. Yeah,
no, I respect that and I agree. I think he has been one of the best goalkeepers for a long time now. But I feel like somebody that is, for me, definitely has to make it into my team, but also in terms of who I think is the best goalkeeper currently. Okay. Going off the back of last season, I also felt like he was the best goalkeeper last season. It's Donnarumma.
Donnarumma, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Donnarumma. I think, you know, there's always been question marks and criticism towards Donnarumma, but I think over the last couple of years, especially obviously at PSG and now at Man City, I think you could argue that he is the number one goalkeeper in the world currently. Last season, you saw the performances he done for PSG in the Champions League in some big games. This season, Man City, again, question marks about the move. Does he suit the playing style?
Yeah, he's erased all the question marks. Yeah, I had question marks when it happened. I wondered, how is he going to fit in with Pep? Pep is such a ball-dominant kind of coach in terms of build-up. And Donnarumma has never been the strongest with his feet, but he's come in and really had an effect on Man City's season.
100%. And if you actually look at Man City this season, I feel like the reason why they are in a title race, the reason why they are still, you know, have a fighting chance, a lot of it has to do with Donnarumma. You know, I feel like if you look at the amount of shots he's faced and the amount of saves he's made, the big saves he's made, yeah, he's made a huge difference. I think in terms of like the percentage of the amount of shots faced and the amount of shots saved, I think he's the highest in the Premier League. Yeah. So for any goalkeeper, so you can see the impact he's made.
Do you think he's the best goalkeeper in the Prem though? You think he's better than Raya?
I think he's better than Raya. I think Raya benefits a lot from the fact that as a defensive unit, also are very strong. And I think he always, for the last 2-3 years, he's had a consistent back line. Whereas Donnarumma's come in, you've seen this season the amount of chops and changes they've had in the back line. There hasn't been a consistent back line with City, and because of that also causes vulnerability for them, and that's why they face a lot of chances this season. But he's come up big for them on a number of occasions.
I just think Raya as well too, though. He's had big saves for Arsenal. There's been games where like it's really tight, Arsenal are winning, and then he just pulls out like these like almost De Gea-esque saves in terms of like how fast he gets down and stuff. But I heard Donnarumma's a great goalkeeper, man. I think this one comes down to preference. I'm not gonna lie. I think Courtois and Donnarumma are quite similar in terms of like they're really big goalkeepers. Raya's a bit more on the small side, but they're huge, imposing goalkeepers. I always think of Courtois and Donnarumma. They have these moments where their arms almost seem to get longer. Like when the ball's like going top corner and like it's like their arm extends. It's
huge
crazy.
Guy, they're huge. He's a big guy.
They're massive guys. Yeah.
And it's crazy to think he's been playing since 16 and he's only 26.
He's a prodigy. He's a goalkeeping prodigy.
It's mad. But I'm gonna give it to Courtois.
You go Courtois.
Yeah. The reason I'm gonna go with Courtois is just because I feel like when it comes to goalkeepers, he's like the Cristiano Ronaldo in the Champions League. When it comes to, you know, pulling up in big moments, keeping the team in the tie. I always remember that final against Liverpool, the second one. where he's put.
Oh my God. That
bro.
is, you're right. That's like the Cristiano Ronaldo's performance of the goalkeepers.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Nah,
It's
that
just
day
like,
Liverpool, bro. What more can you do?
But no, you couldn't do
What more
anything,
can you
bro.
do?
So I just feel like, yeah, he's got the heritage, and I think till this day he's still, like you said, an important player for them. Still pulling up with big moments. So
I actually think if Real Madrid didn't have him, bro, I fear where they would be. I don't think they'd even be in the next round of the Champions League. I genuinely believe that. Whereas Donnarumma, City might not be in a title race without him, but I don't think they fall as far as if Ederson is there, like last season.
For sure.
Compared to Courtois, bro, there's a lot of goalkeepers, good goalkeepers you replace Courtois with. I think Real Madrid are falling, bro. Like, he saves them crazy.
Nah, 100%. That's it's an all-timer.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
For me,
he's
without
an all-timer.
Without a doubt.
So the next position we're gonna do is right back. This one I've decided to go for Chelsea Reece James. This one, I did have Timber in mind.
Okay.
But I think when you're looking at a traditional right back, somebody that can do both, and this season I feel like Reece James is just, he's been, you could argue Chelsea's most important player. Whether it's right back, whether it's midfield, whatever role he's doing, he's just, a lot of people question obviously the injuries that he had.
That's the only thing you could ever attack Reece James for, bro. It's just his availability.
It's always there, bro. And whenever he comes back, it's just like, he doesn't miss a beat.
I honestly think you could make the argument with Reece James, right? If you're looking at, let's look at the definition of a footballer. Not in terms of who scores the most goals or who's the most valuable. Just when you look at all the attributes of what makes a footballer, I think you could make the argument he is the most complete footballer in the league. I think you could make that argument in terms of he's so technically good. His crossing is great. He's a great passer. He's obviously a great defender.
He can do set pieces.
He can take free kicks. He can take corners. He's great in the air. Athletically, he's top. He might be the most complete footballer in the Prem. I think he's
that's
that
a good
ridiculous.
argument. Nah, I think that's actually a fair argument.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, his availability. It's
but this season he's been available. I think that's what,
and that's what's put him back in the conversation. If it wasn't him, I'm not gonna lie, I would have had Timber.
Timber's great, right? And I think that was a debate for the start, especially because James was playing a lot in midfield. But I think even Arsenal fans are kind of coming around to it. As good as Timber is, Reece James is just a different bro. Reece James is one, like, if he could stay fit every year, he goes down as maybe the greatest right back in Prem history. If he could like go on and elongate his career and then obviously add the trophies on top of that, which is more of a team award. But in terms of just quality, bro, he could go down as the best right back the league has seen. I think he is that special.
I think what, credit to him, because I think the fact that he's been injured a lot, but yet still gets thrown into the best right back conversation. Tells you
that's based on quality. People are like, oh, we know he's good. Just let him be fit.
No facts. Okay, so who would you have?
I would have gone. Well, I'm going to go with Ashraf Hakimi, who I think last season had an all-timer campaign, and I think this year, fitness allowing, he's kind of had like a typical Reece James season where he's had injuries that have prevented him from showing what he can do all year long. But when he has played, I think he's just kind of carried on where he left off from last season. I think PSG, when everyone is fit, have the best fullback pairing. We'll definitely get to the left soon. And I think Hakimi, he just does a little bit of everything, man. Honestly. No, Trent is great. Trent is amazing, but you talk about injuries as well too. He's missed a lot of this season as well too. And I think Hakimi's better than Trent. I'm not gonna lie. I think Trent is an unbelievable footballer, better footballer than anybody maybe we're talking about here, but Hakimi is very similar to Reece James in my opinion in terms of he's great defensively, he's great going forward, he can play in midfield, he can play, he pops up with goals. He's a little bit of everything as well too. But I think fitness is the big difference between the two of them right now. Like James is having like a Hakimi season, Hakimi's having a James season. So I would go I think Reece James is unreal, man. Unreal.
So you're gonna go Reece James?
I'll go Reece James.
I would go the same as well. I'm not gonna put Reece James. Do you want to do centre backs before we go to left back? Or do you want to do left back first?
Up to you, man.
Let's just do the left back first, actually.
I think the left back will be easy anyways.
Yeah, let's do the left back.
Nuno
Mendes. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one might raise eyebrows, but I do think this is a good player. I think he's got a bit of a stigma attached to him, but I like him. I understand why people don't like him, but I'm gonna go with Marco Correa.
Oh, okay, I thought you were gonna say like Luke Shaw or something. No, the way you were talking about that, I was like, I was worried where that was going, man. I was gonna say Luke Shaw 2026, man. We're still trying to run that one back. I know World Cup seasons are on the way, but Luke Shaw, I'm good, bro. Correa, you know what? I think Correa is. We're talking about PSG having the best fullback pairing in the world. I think Chelsea could argue they have the best fullback pairing in the league. I think you could say that. Correa is great, man. You say what you need to say.
I just think over the last couple, I would say over the last 2 years, coming off the back of that Euro tournament where I think he was phenomenal in that Euros, and then ever since then, I think he's been a consistent performer, and arguably I'd say the best left back in the league. I know he has the stigma, and I don't know what it is about him.
I think he's just wild. It's the hair.
It's people just seem to dislike him, but I think performance-wise, I know he had a shaky start to his Chelsea career, but last couple of years, I think he's been very, very consistent. He might have those bozo moments from time to time, maybe a red card here and there, but on the whole, I think he's a top
1v1, he's great too, man. I mean, he had that game against Yamal where I thought he dealt with him super well. He's had games in the past against Saka, against the best wingers in the league, and I think he holds up really well. But I'm not gonna lie, with all due respect to Kukurea, I think this is straightforward. I think Nuno Mendes is the best left back in the world. Sure. I don't even think it's that close. I think I was hearing Faisal say it on Sky, which is where this video kind of originated from. He says this might be the position where like there's the biggest gap between 1 and 2 of any other position. I think Nuno Mendes, I keep saying it, and some people give me backlash towards it. Some people think I'm being reactionary, but I'm just going off what I see. I think Nuno Mendes is one of the best left backs I've ever seen in my life. I think he will retire as one of the best without a doubt. But just in terms of quality, bro, there's nothing you can't do. Like he can literally do what we were talking about. Reece James is like for me Nuno Mendes on the left. He is so good at everything. I don't see a weakness in Nuno Mendes' game. And then the consistency he's had over the last 2 years, I would say. For me, he's a shoo-in in this team.
No, I agree. I think you put it perfectly, and I think I mean. He's definitely up there with one of the best left backs currently. Well, for a while now, he's been one of the best left backs. I just like when I look because when you said that, I was thinking, all right, what other left back? Then I thought Marcelo.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's the best I've ever seen. No,
but he's definitely up there. I mean,
the thing is with Mendes, people will say it's too early, but Mendes won a treble last year.
Yeah, he did.
How many players have ever won a treble in general? Like, we're not acting like this guy has not done anything in his career. He locked up Yamal in the Nations League final, where he was the man of the match. He scored, assisted, and locked up the best player in the world. He had an unbelievable Champions League run, where again, goals, assists, defending, all of that. He's done it consistently now for almost 2 years. Like, I'm not saying he's Marcelo for me is like a gold bar, right? But a lot of the left backs will gas up to crazy high levels. I don't think I've played to the level what's his name, Mendes has shown over the last 2 years.
I think the closest person may be Alfonso, but then Alfonso, he doesn't have the capabilities.
You know who reminds me of Mendes a lot? Do you remember when Alaba used to play left back?
Yes.
For me, it's very similar. That Alaba was almost, a complete footballer at left back. But I think Mendes, I mean, Alaba ended up playing at center back eventually, but Mendes for me is in that mold, man. I think he's so good.
I think Alaba is, if you even look at physically and pace-wise, I think he's a little bit better than Alaba in that role.
And that says something, because Alaba, for me, at his best, I thought was so good, bro. I thought there was a point where he's the best left back in the world. Before Marcelo really took off, I preferred him to Alba. I preferred Alaba to Alba.
100%.
I think Alaba was so good, but Mendes for me is like of that mold. I think he's incredible, man.
No, it's fair, and I'm gonna go with you as well. I'm gonna put Nuno and Mendes left back. Now it's a centre back pairing. This is interesting because now we're gonna have about 4 centre backs to pick from.
Yeah, this was tough for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is a bit of a layup for you.
Yeah, I mean. The 2 I'm going to go for, I think a lot of people would expect me to kind of go for the Arsenal boys, but I'm actually going to go for Gabriel.
Yeah.
And then Mark Guay.
You've done Saliba dirty there. I think you've done Saliba dirty there.
Do you know what it is? This season, going off just this season, I think the 2 best centre backs for me have been Gabriel and Mark Guay. I think we're doing overall. You think Saliba?
I think Saliba's arguably been the best in the Prem. I think Gabriel is the popular choice, and I don't think it's the wrong choice. I think Gabriel's amazing. But I think Gabriel's goals and big moments are a lot easier. Like, I think they put him on a table that's very easy to look at and say he's amazing. And also Gabriel is so aggressive and tough tackles. But I think Saliba is kind of like getting... It's a bit like the Rio and Vidic thing, where Vidic gets so much of the love, and Vidic is amazing. He's one of my favorite players ever. But because he's so aggressive in the tackles, you can see it, you can quantify it. But Rio does so many things that go under the radar. I think he cleans up a lot of mistakes for everybody. Like Saliba, for me, is reaching a level where I don't see him make a mistake almost ever. I think he's so reliable game in, game out. And the thing with Saliba this year, there was a period where Gabriel was out the team, and Saliba was being played with Mosquera, Hincapié. I think there was maybe someone else who even played with him in center back, but it doesn't matter who the partner is. He's still playing at an elite level, and I think he elevates the guys next to him as well, too. I think Saliba has now started to get underrated. Gabriel's amazing, I don't doubt it, but I think Saliba's just a joke.
I think, you know what it is? When I look at the style of football Arsenal play, when I look at their identity, the first person that comes to my mind is Gabriel. Because if you look at the way they played it with the set pieces, the corners being the threat, I think the physicality.
But who do you think is the better defender of the 2 in terms of just defending?
I think you're right. It is like the Rio and Vidic thing. I think Rio was a better defender than Vidic, but Vidic got more of the, like you said, visually looks like, had the look of a defender. I think it's the same case here, but I just think Gabriel is so much. I think he's more important to Arsenal, even when it comes to like being a threat on the other end of the pitch.
That I agree with.
And that's why, for me, he's been vital. I think he's in the early on in the season, he was getting the goals, the early goals. I think even when he came out of the team, I felt like Arsenal slightly had a little bit of a dip. So it kind of shows you the importance and his presence in the team. I just feel like when Gabriel's there, it feels harder to score than when
I would have had them together. As much as I love Gahey. I think he's been he's been a revelation joining for City. I think he's elevated them. But I think those two men, that's the best partnership in the world. I think they both deserve to be in here. I would throw Upamecano, who I think has been, again, so faultless for Bayern this season. I thought he was amazing last year. He's been amazing this year. He would get my nod in my team. And then also, I would probably go maybe Pacho. I think the other center back is up for debate because I think you look across Europe, Kubarsi for me has been poor. I haven't been really impressed with him since Martinez left. I look at Real Madrid. Huijsen has struggled for me at Madrid this year. Rudiger has declined. Militao's been injured, so I wouldn't go for anyone from La Liga, to be honest with you. I look in other teams. Marquinhos, I've never really rated that much.
Inter?
I think he's had a down year.
I don't think Bastoni's been I was going to say, because I think he's kind of, not that he's fallen off, but his performances hasn't been as great this season. But overall, in terms of quality, I thought maybe you might still...
Nah, I think Bastoni's fell off too much for me because I'm going really based on this season, so I think he goes down a little bit. I'll probably go Pacho, maybe Jonathan Tah, I'll give him a shot as well too. But honestly, as much as I love all these players, Upamecano is one of the most disrespected players in this position. It has to be Gabriel Saliba.
My only problem with Upamecano is when the lights are bright.
But I feel, when's the last big moment? When's the last big moment you can remember that doing that? You're probably looking at Haaland, bro.
Probably, yeah.
But that's 3 years ago, bro.
But then
this is what I'm saying. This is stigma. It's like a stigma in my head. Gabriel used to have that same thing where it was like the Bozo gene, the Bozo gene. I get it. The Bozo gene is very difficult to shake off for fans. But if you really look at Upamecano, the last howler game everyone can remember is in 2023. That's 3 years ago. Like at some point, if you're continuing to be as good as he's been, like when can you finally kind of get over that?
But
you know what I mean?
True.
Maybe he needs to show you like a game where he's just dominant for you to be like.
I think this Champions League will be massive for him because I think obviously now, for example, if they go through, they might most likely meet either Real Madrid.
Yeah, they're gonna play Madrid or City.
And then those are the type of games.
Get your leg back, man.
Everyone's watching. You don't want to make it. You know what I mean? So
I will say this about Upamecano as well too. There's a reason why Deschamps always plays him. No matter what. I remember there was so much talk about Saliba should be starting. Konate should be starting.
In the World Cup or international tournaments, he's unbelievable.
He's there, and I think there's a reason why. Because I remember they were always saying, "Oh, they should drop Upamecano, just play Konate and Saliba." And then he was like out of the team through injury for a bit, and France were losing every game that those two were playing. Saliba and Konate. So I think there's a reason why coaches like him so much. I think his build-up is like on the ball. He's one of the most talented center backs. But I think this year, bro, I know you're gonna. I'm even gonna give Gahey and Upamecano. I would argue if you took Saliba, I would give you those two.
Yeah, I think Gahey for me is top 5 center backs in Europe.
In Europe, he might be. To be fair, I don't think it's a bad argument.
I actually said this when he was at Crystal Palace. Like I think generally he is top 5. I just think when you look at physicality, on the ball, composure,
I think his reading of the game. You got to realize Gahey's not the tallest center back compared to Gabriel Saliba. They're monsters.
He's physical though. He's strong,
but he's not that tall. But you don't really see him get beat in the air. You don't really ever see him get bullied. I think he's strong. I think the way he reads the game, 100%. He's very calm as well too. Gahey, he's very poised.
I don't even notice at City now. You see him by just in the opposition half now, breaking the lines with the passes.
He's very talented. He's a leader as well too.
And he's 26.
Yeah, I think he's a future City captain.
So I think he's been performing at that level for quite some time now as well. I just think at Palace it kind of gets overlooked.
Bro, remember when he came to the Euros for Maguire because Maguire got injured and he hasn't lost his spots since. I hear it. Gahey is fantastic. I would argue Upamecano with Gahey because I think Upamecano the whole season. Gahey at Palace. Was he having his best year? Debatable. If you had gone, I'm surprised Saliba's been left out. Man. For me, he's a shoo-in.
I think this.
I'll even do it for you, bro. I'm putting Saliba into my team. How about that, bro? That's my nominee.
You know what it is? I think this season, they've just been. Out of the names we've just mentioned now, I would, if I had to do a ranking, I would probably put maybe Gabriel first. I think it's a toss-up between Gahey and Upamecano, and then it would be
Saliba. For me, I might put Saliba top, bro.
You put Saliba top?
I think he might be the best center back in Europe. I think he's so good, bro.
I'm gonna put Gabriel first in this combined. You agree with that?
Yeah, Gabriel's in for sure.
So now let's do a toss-up between Upamecano, Gahey, and you're trying to say throw in Saliba.
I'll give you Saliba, bro. I'll honestly give you. I'm throwing in a Prem rep for you,
bro. This season, I would genuinely have Gahey slightly above.
Okay, so based on that, then we can't put Saliba.
Yeah, we can't put Saliba.
Then between Gahey and Upamecano, I'm going Upamecano.
Upamecano?
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel really bad about this, but I feel like it will kind of even out. I think we've got 2-2 in the back line.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. Maybe it is Gahey.
I think it is Gahey.
Maybe we leave it in the comments.
I think we have to pick one though.
I'm sticking with Upamecano. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going Upamecano, man.
You know what, bro?
Do you know what? Upamecano.
we have to go with someone. I'm gonna go with Upamecano. That way the backline's kind of even. We've got 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So then obviously we leave that one more of a discussion for the.
Let us know in the chat, in the comments.
And also if Saliba is getting disrespected and should be in there, let us know in it. So we're gonna go to my favorite department.
The midfield.
The midfield, 100%. How do you want to do this? Because obviously it's a 4-3-3. I don't know how you've gone.
I got a 6 and 2/8.
6 and 2/8. So I've kind of gone for a double pivot and then a 10.
I mean, maybe mine's a double. A 10.
I've gone for a 10. I've gone for a 10 in this
I know
one.
who your 10 is as well, too.
Yeah.
Can I throw in a 10? Has there been a 10 that's really moved me?
I don't think there is even in Europe, to be fair.
But you know what? Because of that, I'm going to throw in a 10 as well, too, just to make it more comparable. Because I was going to do a 6 and 2/8. I'll go... Wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's really tough.
That's
tough. Really tough because for me, the big 10s are on Europe. Musiala has been injured for most of it. Bellingham has been out and in and out. I don't think he's had his best year anyways.
Fermin Lopez has been decent.
For me, I like him, but again, he's in and out. Olmo plays some games as well too.
Yeah.
Ooh, who else has there really been? Italy,
there's not been many, I feel like, in Europe,
Germany,
to be fair.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with my 2/8s. Anyways, the 10 you play, he can be considered an 8 as well too. So we'll go with that. Okay, who's your 6 then? Or who's your 2 deep players?
My 2 deep players are Caicedo and Rice.
Caicedo and Rice.
Yeah, I think those 2 are my 2. And I think, we've raved about these guys so much.
Yeah, they're both
season.
really good. No Soboslai.
No, I
think he's a big shout.
I think you know what? This season he's been
a big shout.
And I think I remember you saying it as well. He's been showing shades of Gerald, and I proper.
It wasn't me. I think it was Cam who said that.
Someone said
I like Soboslai. I was the one saying at the start of the season when Liverpool bought all those big players and they were making their what's the ideal 11.
Yeah.
I was saying there's no way you can drop Soboslai.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying Soboslai, get him out. Soboslai, the defensive work rate that guy provides for Liverpool
is ridiculous.
And now he's adding the free kicks, the goals. He does everything.
Bro, he's played right back, he's played centre mid, he's played right wing. He's
their
done everything.
version of Gerrard. I hear that. Yeah. For me, Gerrard is just so great. Yeah. But he's their version of. He's this year, bro. Yeah. If you put him in your team, I wouldn't even flinch.
Nah, but I just feel like he just misses.
I think he might have had a better season than Caicedo. I feel like Caicedo started the year unreal.
That's why I disagree. I think
Caicedo's better than him. I think he's a better player. I think he's arguably the best midfielder in the league on quality. But I think he started the year really well. It might be like subconscious here, but I feel like since he got that red card against Arsenal, I feel like his level has kind of dropped. It's been a little inconsistent. I might be wrong there.
And you know, it's mad. I was just about to mention that. You know what it is? I think this season, I think he's it's those big games on a Super Sunday.
Maybe that's what's sticking out to me.
He's had that
I might be wrong here.
Moment.
I genuinely might be
wrong.
He's
had that bad moment, and I think it's just stuck with people's minds, bro.
Maybe.
And even this season, I just feel like the influence, the impact he's had. He's doing pretty much everything.
So he would be in your Premier League team of the season.
He would be. I think this season.
I don't know if he would, bro. Because my Premier League team of the season, I would have Rice. I'd have Bruno in midfield. I might even go Xhaka in that position as well too, based on midfielders. I
think Caicedo's been better than Xhaka. Trust me.
Interesting.
You know what it is? I think Caicedo's not that he gets overlooked, but I just think
he's quality. He's quality. There's a label, I used to overlook him.
There's a stigma that he has, and I think obviously because he's gone into that game. It's the Rice Caicedo debate, and he's had a howler. Let's not sugarcoat. He's had a howler that game, but. Outside of that, if you take that out, and obviously the whole shin kicker thing. That
I don't think he's a shin kicker.
He's not a shin kicker.
I don't think so. I don't think that
on the ball. I think defensively, offensively, we talk about work rate. I think his work rate is.
But you're talking about his qualities. I don't disagree. I think I just said on quality, he's arguably the best midfielder, in the holding midfielder in the league, maybe even in the world. But I think on consistency and performances this year. Yeah. I might give it to Soboslai,
I would give it Soboslai overall, but I just think because Soboslai's played right back, centre mid,
I hear that.
right wing.
I think that. Has he been playing in midfield the whole time?
Yeah, the whole time.
That's
I don't think he has. He's come into midfield from right back positions and he's done a role and he's had some big moments. But I just feel like consistency in that double pivot, in that role,
he's
in that
unbelievable,
DM. I think Caicedo's just been
so
unreal. So I feel like I have to put Caicedo and then Rice, of course. Rice is just been...
So those are your 2 holding midfielders.
Yeah, those are my 2.
Okay, I'll go Vitinha.
Yeah.
And I'll go Pedri.
Pedri, that's a good shout.
Now, for me, Pedri has to be there.
Yeah.
For me, he's the best midfielder in the world. And I know he's been in and out of the team through injury, but I think there aren't many players in Europe who have a great, when they're there compared to when they're not. I don't know if there's many players in Europe that have that as much of an impact on their team as Pedri does. Barcelona, genuinely look like 10 times worse when he's not there.
Yeah.
And they look 10 times better when he is there.
I think he's from the wrong generation. Generally, I think Pedri is from the wrong generation, man. I think he's from that mold of the Iniesta, Xavi's, you know, the Busquets.
He's so good,
bro. He's not playing like that's why he's head and shoulders above everyone. Because I think if he was from that generation, he would have looked like just one of those guys. But now that he's here, obviously he's just. There's the disparity between him and then the second best midfielder. It's big.
Yeah, it's big.
It's huge, bro. And I just think it's ridiculous that I never feel like he's fully fit.
Yeah.
But then the levels of performances he puts in, it's a joke, bro. And I think for this team, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not even gonna debate that one, bro. Pedri gets
He's
in,
man. He's so good, bro.
Now it's a conversation between Vitinha, obviously Casado, and Rice, because I think one of them.
I'll go Rice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think Rice this year is so consistent. Honestly, he's probably the most consistent player in the Arsenal team.
Yeah.
Even in their blips, who's the one guy that I look at and think, oh, he can go home and hold his head up high. He can say, okay, I gave what I had to. The rest of the team just didn't. For me, it's Rice, man. Honestly, you look. A midfielder with very little, if any, flaws in his game.
Yeah.
Honestly, every game, it's just 8 out of 10 from him. 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Then you add the corner. You talk about Gabriel's heading. For me, Arsenal set pieces, as influential as Gabriel is in there, they're only as good as the corners being taken.
Yes.
And Declan Rice's whips from that side of the pitch, they're a different level, bro. They're a different level. No. I honestly... If any player were to go out of the Arsenal team, they have so much depth.
Yeah.
But if anyone were to actually come out of that team and you would see a huge decline because they don't have anyone that can do what he does, I think it's Rice. At least Gabriel or Saliba, you have Hincapié, you have Bosquera, you have other guys. You take Rice out of that team, I think they fall so far, bro.
No, I agree, bro. I think, you know, when we look back on this Arsenal team and if they were to get over the line and we look at the moments that, you know, was not the turning point, but you could say the turning
like
point.
In this era for them, it was signing him.
Signing him. I can't lie to you, and because we don't talk about his price tag, and there's a reason for that.
That's true.
The £100 million DM, and we never mentioned his price tag, so it just tells you, you know, how.
When they signed him, I thought at the time, I think I tweeted it. I don't know if I deleted it or not, but I tweeted it at the time. I think this is like it could be their version of when United signed Roy Keane.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the way I looked at it.
So that was literally on my mind right now.
That's the way it felt like that kind of signing in terms of just signing a boss in midfield, someone who comes in. And everybody, you know, they lift their shoulders a little because, okay, now he's here. He's the boss. Like, he's going to give you a consistent level of performances. And if you don't match up to that, you're going to look that much more inferior. I think that's what he's brought to Arsenal.
No, I agree, bro. I just think he just needs to... I think the only thing I would say about Rice is that he needs to show that leadership just a little bit more.
You reckon?
Like, own it. Like, you are who you are.
Yeah, you are who you think you are as well, too.
Act like it more. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the only side I see. Because sometimes I feel like when there's rocky moments happen, I feel like he's panicking a little bit himself.
Yeah,
I just feel like his body language kind of shows someone that's like, he's trying to steady the ship, but then it's like he's got the panic on his face. I think you see Roy Keane, he just had that stern, firm look, losing or winning.
Roy Keane's real mental. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's
Roy
what I'm saying.
Keane is just like
that's what I'm saying.
He's the most serious guy ever. Bro.
That's what I'm thinking. I just need to see that. Like he just, even when the ship is sinking, I just need to see you be. Do you know what I mean?
Fair
and
enough.
I just feel, but I think in terms of performance, though,
he's so good. Man.
Yeah, so I think Rice and Pedri in that double
Rice
pivot.
and Pedri, what a midfield that would be.
Yeah, that would be incredible. That would be incredible.
And then in front of, I mean, I don't really know the number 10 that you can compare to the guy you're going to bring up because I think at his position, he's just owning it at the moment. But also, even in terms of number 10s in Europe, who's been... I mean, bro, you might laugh. I mean, you could say Nico Paz in terms of number 10s in Europe has maybe been the most consistent number 10 in Europe this year.
But the levels are...
there's a level. Anyone I could put out here, I'm sorry, I'm going to concede to you. I'll throw João Neves, because I think João Neves had a really good season, and I'm just going to do that, just throw a name out. But I think the number 10 is Bruno Fernandes.
No, by far, bro.
I think it's Bruno Fernandes.
I don't think he's even close, and I think... I'm going to ask you something. Do you feel like Bruno done himself a disservice by staying at Man United for this long?
Well, honestly, I think since Fergie left... I think any world-class player that stays at United for too long is probably doing himself a disservice. I look at Pogba, I think he did himself a disservice, even joining United in the first place. So in that sense, yes, of course I do. But also, Bruno could have easily at different points jumped ship and gone to a different team and been considered even better than he is because he would have had the trophies. He would be playing better with better players. But I also think you have to give him a lot of credit as well, too, because... Yes, Bruno has always been good. No doubt about it. Anyone who was ever saying Bruno's shit or whatever, I used to not be his biggest fan, but even at that, I would say he's obviously top. I just have things I don't like about his game.
Yeah.
But right now, I personally believe he's playing the best football of his career.
No,
I think this is the best version of Bruno.
You think so, yeah?
Yes, I do.
You know, I genuinely believe, bro.
Yeah.
I think he's been operating at this level for maybe...
At this current level, I think Liban, the reason I say that...
Since Ten Hag's first season. I genuinely believe
Really?
I promise you. And I think we used to have these debates. I genuinely believe he's operating at the same level. Do you know what the difference is that has happened this season? It's Kevin De Bruyne's left. Generally, bro.
So
what's
you're not comparing him to like a monster.
Yeah, and then on top of that, now there's more spotlight. So now you're like, rah, like because of the quality of attacking midfielders this season, where Cole Palmer's been injured, Foden's not really showing up, Odegaard's had moments, but he hasn't really been as consistent. You're looking at the number 10s and the creative midfielders, now thinking, oh, it's just Bruno. So now it's like the eyes are on him so much that you're noticing the quality a lot more. You're respecting.
That's a fair theory.
You're respecting the quality a lot more. And I just think he's been operating at that level. Yes, he's had those, like you said, he throws the shot.
I don't really mind that. That for me doesn't bother me. I used to get frustrated with Bruno because I felt Man United would be in a flow, and then all of a sudden he would be in a flow, and then all of a sudden he just plays this dumb pass that obviously was never going to go anywhere. And it's like, all of a sudden we have to... That used to get to me, even though I know he's number 10.
I feel like that's just who he is.
I actually think, this is why I think it's the best version of him. I think he's ironed out a lot of that from his game, bro. I think Bruno...
I saw it last game.
No, obviously he still has it. I'm not going to pretend Bruno never does... Yeah, Newcastle wasn't his best. But I think I watched Bruno right now, and Henry had this quote that I completely agree with.
Yeah.
He's thinking the game at a different level right now. I honestly think Bruno is playing the game at his own pace now.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's almost like... Sometimes I used to say about, like, the best midfielders. I'm not comparing them to Iniesta. But, like, with them, I used to think... It looks like they're playing at a different pace to everybody else. Like, it looks like they get the ball and they have way more time than everybody else. But that's because they just think the game at a different level. And when I look at Bruno right now, again, I'm not comparing him to Iniesta. I'm not doing that. But I find it similar in terms of it looks like he has way more time on the ball. It looks like he's seeing things happen 10 steps before they even happen. Like, players are coming at him and he already knows he's going to dummy it, get out, do this.
I always felt like he played like that for Portugal, you know? I always felt like he plays like that for Portugal. I feel like I used to always notice a difference in Bruno playing for the national team and for Man United, and it was literally what you're just describing now. It's where he plays at a different pace. But another question I was going to ask you is that, do you think because of the quality of attackers we have now this season with Bruno, you got Cunha, you got obviously Sesko, you got different qualities in attack now? Do you think that's now allowed him to trust those attackers more and maybe take his time with his decision making? Whereas before, I felt like he felt like I have to be the hero. Like he's playing the hero pass, the hero shots.
But he is still a bit of the hero, right? In terms of, I urge people watching Man United to sometimes really just look at Bruno. And every time one of his teammates gets the ball, no matter where he is, they automatically look, their first thought is, where's Bruno? There's a 50-yard switch available for them. Let me find it, Bruno 2 yards so he can play it instead. There is still that hero in terms of everything goes through him. He is the heartbeat of the team. But I just find now he's doing it with such an ease that, like, I'm watching him during games where, to be honest, Cunha and Mbemo have not been great the last few weeks. And yet still, he's pulling out 4 or 5 chances created where you're saying, bro, he could have had the assist record 4 games ago.
That's true.
He's playing at that level. So maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment right now. Some people could argue he has been better. There were seasons goal scoring wise where he was definitely better.
Numbers wise.
But I think from an all encompassing point, he's playing at a level now I don't think I've seen at. But
and even some of the outrageous, like I remember that assist in Liverpool for Maguire. Like,
bro,
only he does that.
Only he would even attempt that.
Only he does stuff like that. But okay, so Bruno probably makes this team. So that's how we feel.
He definitely makes
so
this
it's Pedri, Rice, and then
Bruno
in the 10.
For me, this might be unpopular for some people. I think if the voting ended today, I would give him PFA Player of the Year.
I already said this.
I would. I know. In the audience, they're laughing because of Declan Rice.
I had a little chuckle over there in the back.
I know they're laughing because of Declan Rice, and I think Declan Rice, from start to finish, has had the more steady campaign in terms of consistency. But I think only Haaland, in terms of the heights they've reached in their campaign, can rival Bruno. Is PFA Player of the Year about the most consistent player, or who was the best player in the league? If it's who's the best player in the league, I think there's a serious argument to be made. Bruno is up there. Now, you can argue, is that based on the quality of the league? Maybe. But I think this season, has Rice hit a level that Bruno has hit at their best? I don't think so.
No, I agree, bro. I think in terms of, like you said, peaks, I think Haaland early on in the season. And by the way,
the best team in the league that wins the league doesn't always get the PFA Player of the Year. So, for example, Liverpool won it.
I think he's always favoured, though.
That's not true. Liverpool, when they won the league in 1920, De Bruyne won it.
Yes,
and
true.
And because he equaled Henry's record. Salah, when City won the league the first year, he broke the goal scoring record. He won it. There's oftentimes, if if no one stands out in the league, then usually the best team in the league gets the best player on that team gets it. But there are times where a player is so extraordinary in what they're doing, or they set a record or something, that it doesn't matter what the other team is doing, unless that team has just a standout. And I don't look at this Arsenal team and think there's one standout above everybody else that's just carrying this team. I don't. I think it's a great team.
Yeah.
I think if Bruno gets close to that assist record, or dare I says it, even equals it, I think he'll win it.
I think if he breaks it, he'll most definitely win it.
I think he would. That's obviously hypothetical. He has to go do it.
I think that's the only thing. I just feel like the way with the whole emotional aspect of Arsenal going over the line. If they go over the line, it's like by default they're gonna give it to an Arsenal player.
I'm not so sure about that.
You think so?
I think Rice might win it also because. This isn't to say he's not a great player, he is, but because he's English, because there's a narrative around Declan Rice as well too. I think they might give it to him based on that.
Yeah.
But has Declan Rice been the best player in the Premier League this season? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. No, I agree. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think Bruno I think he cements it if he breaks that assist record.
Yeah,
I think that would.
If United finish third as well too, they have to finish third. If they don't even make the Champions League, this is a moot conversation. But I think he has a very good chance of winning.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I like that midfielder. I think that's a strong midfield. If that was a real midfield in real life, that would be dangerous. All right, let's do the wingers. So we'll start with right wing.
Yeah, Fries, man.
Am I surprised?
Just give it to the best player in the world, bro. Seriously.
This one.
Give me Yamal.
I'll say a name just for this.
Yeah, go on. Who you got? Mbemo. I like Mbemo.
I was gonna put Mbemo because I did have Saka in mind, but Saka hasn't had the greatest season.
I would put Semenyo. No, Semenyo's been playing on the right.
I was gonna put Semenyo.
He's been playing on the right, but that's the only thing.
I think he's played both.
Yeah.
I think he's played both.
You were gonna put him on the left.
I was just gonna put him on the left and Mbemo on the right.
Yeah, for
I think both of them fries. You know, I think both of them might be fries.
In fact, I might even say Olise has a better. I could have thrown Olise. He wouldn't be anyone in the Prem. I
think it's the weakest department right now for the Prem is the winger section this season.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'll just say my right wing and left wing because I think it's Mbeumo and it's Antoine Semenyo on the left. So those are my two wing options for this season.
Cold, man.
You could tell me yours.
I'll go Yamal and Mbappe, man. Cold, man. Just go striker.
Do we discuss this?
Yeah, how long do you want to waste on this?
No, listen. Okay,
good dudes.
Guys, listen. There's no more to be said. You got the best player in the world on the right hand side.
You got maybe the second best.
Maybe the second best on the left. So there you have it. It's Yamal and Mbappe, and then it's up front. I think this is one to be very interesting. Yeah. Obviously, I'm gonna go for Erling Haaland.
I'm gonna go for Harry Kane.
I think this is a good conversation. Yeah, because I think. Erling Haaland, I don't think it's one of his better seasons. However, early on in the season, I think he was on a ridiculous run of form. Yeah. I think he scored like 14 games in a row.
You know what pisses me off about Haaland, man?
Yeah.
Every year he starts the year on such crazy form, like to the point that if he continues the form that he starts out with, he's on course to score like 50 goals in the Prem. He's on course every year, the way he starts, to be like Messi and Ronaldo numbers.
Yeah.
And then I feel like every year, bar his first, but every year, midway through, he just stops. Like he goes through a period where he goes back to normality. And then towards the end of the season, he'll go back to scoring a little bit and say, "Oh, wow." But I'm like, bro, I'm almost underwhelmed by him scoring 35 because you could have hit 50 or 60.
I think he's a victim of his own success, man.
He definitely is. But he sets his standards so high.
That's the problem.
That it's like, damn, you only scored 30.
Do you remember when Ronaldo and Messi were doing the goal ban for ban every season and they were scoring 50, 60 goals, but then the second person or maybe the third goal scorer would have like 25, 30, and we look at them like, man, that's average.
Only got 30.
Man, like we look at that. What? Higuain only got 25.
He only got 27. Come on.
It feels like that with Haaland on himself. I feel like he's set so many records and he's had so many, ridiculous records that now when he has, which on paper is still a very good season. Yeah, it looks like for him a below average season.
Facts.
And we're talking about a guy that's already got 30 goals, pretty much 30 goals this season. If you look at all comps, he's got about 30 goals.
Haaland in the Prem has 22, and then in all comps he might have 30 or
so. It's bro, for a normal striker, that's a dream.
That's insane.
That can get you a 70-80 million pound move.
Facts.
So
I think with Haaland, it's just because he looked so ahead of everybody. And now, like, I look at Igor Thiago, who's like 4 or 5 goals behind him. Yeah. I'm like, again, you're top scorer. You're unbelievable. He could win PFA Player of the Year if City wins it.
Yeah.
But it's like, you could have easily, like, blown this league away this year.
Easily.
And it's like, I wonder what happens to Haaland. Because it's like every year, is it like fitness? I know he's never been like the most. He's never been like a 30. He's always picks up knocks along the way.
Yeah.
Is it too much of a workload? Because it is definitely like he slows down a little bit for sure.
I feel like it's, bro. You're gonna laugh, but I feel like he's like a robot. Sometimes he just needs a software update.
He needs an oil change.
He needs like a software update, and it comes back, and he's like the iOS.
Yeah,
you got the iOS 12.4,
14. Yeah,
something like
Erling 14.
It feels like that with him. But I feel like he always has that period where he has to take a bit of time out, or he's got an injury. Also, I think he's very muscular, bro. I think with the way he plays, like,
but it's not like he's too heavy.
Yeah, but I think he's just like his build, his physicality. I think he's just a bit, strong. But yeah, you picked Harry Kane though.
I think Harry Kane is unreal, man.
Yeah,
what he's doing every year, he's another one who just every year he sets himself to such a high standard of goal scoring.
Yeah,
and he usually fulfills it. He's a walking 30-piece, man.
Yeah.
I think the difference between him and Haaland, because I prefer Haaland. Haaland is more my kind of striker than Kane is. I think I like Haaland more. But I think based on start to finish this season, I think it has to be Harry Kane.
Nah, I agree.
I don't think he's fit as much of a he hasn't fell off as much as Haaland has. He's been damn consistent. What's funny actually is Haaland has more assists in the Prem than Kane has in the Bundesliga, because when you look at the two of them, you think Kane's more the playmaker. So that's interesting in its own right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think Harry Kane. You could argue the competition he plays against is weaker than Haaland's, but he can only play up against who he can play.
No, it's
and
true.
we already saw him in the Prem. It's not like he can't score goals in the Prem. So this year, I go Kane.
No, I agree. I'm not even Harry Kane's biggest fan. I'll be honest with you. I've always had the question marks about him in terms of big games and big moments and being clutch. But in terms of numbers, you can never argue with it. Yeah. And obviously for this video, we are talking about who is the better form, who has been the better goal scorer this season. And of course, the numbers don't lie. Harry Kane has been. And even in the Champions League, he's turned up full buy-in. So I can't dispute that one. I am going to go with Harry Kane. I think this is going to be an important year for Harry Kane's career, bro. I genuinely believe like this season in the Champions League, I think with the World Cup coming, I think this is a legacy year for Harry Kane. Generally, I think he is an important year for him. I think if he was somehow managed to get Bayern over that line for the Champions League and then somehow do it for England as well this summer, you're not just talking about, that's one legacy cemented as being, one of the greatest goal scorers of this generation, but also in terms of winning a Ballon d'Or, it puts him in that position.
100%.
So anyone that does that this season, Yamal, for example.
But no, you're right. He's got a big opportunity.
He's got a big opportunity, bro.
One of the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
And they should potentially go to the final.
Yeah.
England are one of the best national teams in the world.
Yeah.
And he's the big player on both of them.
Yeah,
so
he,
like you said, of course, Yamal could also say similar. Mbappe could say similar. But I think for Kane, especially at his age, this feels like
the make or break.
Huge, because he's already, for me, one of the best strikers ever. Whether I like him or not, whether I love his game or not, he is. Like, statistically, he's a joke. But he has the potential to really, with the right kind of year, put himself into a conversation that, I mean, it might get uncomfortable, bro.
I agree. And that's only been my biggest critic. But, you never know. But football sometimes gives people happy endings, you know what I mean? So not in that type of way. But you know what I mean. But, bro, let's go through the team quickly. We're going to go through the team quickly. So we got Courtois in goal.
Yeah.
We got Reece James at right back.
Yeah. I'm going to give you Guehi because when I look... actually, hold on. How does it work out? You got right back, center back, midfielder, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you Guehi then.
You give me Guehi?
I'm gonna give you Guehi.
No, I appreciate
because
that.
I wanted to give you Saliba already. In my head, Guehi is Saliba.
Okay.
The way I've done it.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. I'll give you the both center backs.
All right, so that's this last minute change there. So we're gonna go with Courtois in goal. Right back, Reece James.
Yeah.
Centre backs, we'll go with Gabriel and Guehi.
Yep.
Left back, Nuno Mendes.
Yep.
Midfield three is gonna be Rice, Pedri, Bruno Fernandes.
Yep.
And then the attacking three is gonna be Yamal on the right, Mbappe on the left, and Harry Kane up front.
Good team.
Yeah, solid team, man. Where do you think that finishes in both competitions?
Wins everything. What the hell? It wins everything. That's like basically Arsenal's spine and then good attackers.
Yeah,
like
literally. But listen, appreciate you jumping on.
My boy, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Likewise, bro. And make sure to comment in the video as well. Make sure to let us know your thoughts on our team. Whether you think we missed out anyone, did we do anyone dirty? Let us know your team, who would make it for both or your combined as well. And make sure to like, share, and Whoa. That was crazy then. It's the Ramadan fasting. Yeah. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, my people, peace.